Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh, and welcome back to online classes of Iqra First by Secondary Schools and Colleges, a project of Iqra Education System. Dear brothers, in the last video lecture, we were going through the textual exercises of chapter number 6, King Faisal. We have covered a couple of exercises on textual exercises in part 1, and today in this video lecture, we will complete the remaining exercises, exercise G and exercise H. Exercise G says, use earlier, later, the earliest, the latest as adverbs in the following sentences. Examples are given before you. Example number 1, earlier he was made governor. Example number 2, later he served as foreign minister. Example number 3, shops open at 9 o'clock at the earliest. Example number 4, they close at 8 o'clock at the latest. And after these examples, there is an exercise given. Insert one of the adverbs in brackets. You are given 4 sentences and every sentence has 2 options under the brackets. You have to choose one option, whatever suits in this particular situation in this sentence. Number 1, I can come by 6 o'clock at the dash. You people have to identify which word is more suitable to be put in this blank, whether earlier or earliest. Sentence number 2, he must be back home by 6 o'clock at the dash. You have to think about the better or the more suitable option out of these 2, latest and later, to be put in this blank. Sentence number 3, dash, they settled along the banks of river. You have to identify which one suits best in this particular situation, later or latest. Number 4, dash, they wandered from place to place. Again, you have to choose one option out of these 2, earlier or earliest. My dear students, you should pause the video here and do this exercise in your registers. First of all, write down both the dates on the top of your register page. Draw 2 margin lines, one on the left hand side and one on the right hand side, and each margin line of about half an inch. And after that, you have to give the heading of exercise G. You have to write down the list of words given before you on the screen and in your book on page number 24. Then you have to write the list as I earlier mentioned you, earlier, later, the earliest, the latest as adverbs. Then you have to write down the examples, number 1, 2, 3 and 4, all 4 examples on your register, and then you will start your exercise. Write down the question, insert one of the adverbs in brackets, and then you will write down first sentence along with a blank. I can come by 6 o'clock at the dash, and then you will use brackets and the words under the brackets. You will leave a dash, you will leave a blank, so that you can use earlier or earliest in the blank later when you are solving this exercise. The same way you have to write down all the 4 sentences in register. Once you have done this, you have to think about it, that what you have to use in that particular blank in all 4 sentences, and you have to choose one option out of 2. Once you have done this exercise, then you can come back to the solution I have provided you here. Here you are. The solution is before you. Number 1, I can come by 6 o'clock at the earliest. You can see that the word earliest should be put here and is more suitable as compared to the word earlier. Always remember, whether it is earlier or later, these 2 words, earlier or later, stand alone without any the. While these 2 words, earliest and latest, will always come or be followed by the phrase at the. So wherever there is at the, you will use earliest or latest. And if there is no at the before the blank, then you will use earlier or later, like I've done here before you in exercise C solution, in exercise G solution. Alright, now let's move on to exercise H. Exercise H says idiomatic structures explained. Number 1, she won't go into a dark place alone, means she won't enter a dark place alone. Here the phrase go into means to enter. Sentence number 2, they will go into mourning for a week, means they will observe 1 week mourning. Here the phrase go into means observe. Number 3, don't go into petty details, means don't inquire minutely about unimportant matters. The word petty means unimportant matters, and the phrase go into means to inquire about. Number 4, 2 goes into 8 4 times, means 8 is 4 times 2. So here the phrase go into means be equal to. Number 5, the gate is broad enough for the bus to go through. Here we are using the phrase go through, and this whole sentence means the bus can pass through the gate since it is broad enough. So here the phrase go through means to pass through. Number 6, your application must go through the proper channels, means your application must be processed through the prescribed steps. Here the phrase go through means be processed. Number 7, he had to go through a lot of trouble, means he had to suffer a lot of trouble. Here the phrase go through means to suffer. Sentence number 8, this doesn't go together with a color. Here the phrase go together is being used in the sentence, and the whole sentence means this does not agree with that color. So here the phrase go together means to agree with. I hope, my dear student, you have been able to understand this exercise. What you will do is you will first of all give the heading on a new page of exercise H and write down the question idiomatic structure explained, and you will write down all these 8 sentences one after another as given to you here in your book. After doing this, you people will have completed your chapter number 6, King Faisal. We will meet again inshallah in the next video lecture with a new topic to study. Till then, take very good care of yourselves. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.